tape, more faith, no religion. Cut the grass low, see the snakes, better vision. Circumcision pause, cut their heads off. Loyalty, no improvision of boss. Y'all gon' learn y'all lesson. Class in what's the science?
We the tape brothers, every time you speak real, they take something. Either your life, freedom or money, but them snakes coming. 300, yeah, we might be few, but hot off of sparring. Niggas carry sticks to make that bread, not talking Olive Garden. Darling Parton, looking like Dolly Parton. Please get the motherfucking episode, put your hands up. It's gonna be about maintaining positivity, balance, and mental health. But we're gonna break it down, we just talk about it on a high frequency though, but the caveat is, we get high. Like every day. I mean, like, real high.
Number 8. Fortune telling. During Samhain, people would call upon spirits to tell the future. There were some strange rituals performed during the holiday, meant to let people know if prosperity or misfortune awaited them. Most of which were described as spells.
You know what I'm saying? So you ain't saying nothing, you still a simp.
So what you think a simp is?
A simp is a man who lets a woman walk all over him. Knowing that she's walking all over you and you continuously let it keep happening. You ain't stopping.
On the first Thanksgiving, they sat down for turkey, sweet potatoes, and pie. It sounds like a delightful story, right? But unfortunately, it's not all true. There are some disturbing truths about Thanksgiving that you probably did not learn in class.
If you letting a woman walk all over you, you have no respect for yourself. So I would definitely agree with you.
As a male, as anybody that come on, man, you gotta be.
That's the cause. What I said was the action. You gave the cause. I gave the action. Absolutely. That's not true. That's why I believe he's a simp.
No, but, you want to be honest? I believe which you
just paying for pussy.
Which you acknowledge for, but and I don't think he's fully understand what an alpha male is. But I do believe
he can never understand what an alpha male is because he isn't one.
But he wants to be. But I give him this. As I watch a lot of these videos, I do give him more thing of not want to be a pussy with woman, want it fresh. I called out fresh. I said, I got a feeling fresh is maybe still on some pussy shit. Even my shorty did it. Even him from the rep, he said both of them, but he said especially fresh.
And I don't even watch the show. Just looking at them.
But he called out especially fresh. Everybody keep calling out. And something about fresh giving off. And he comes to try to talk about that alpha male shit too. And I'm like, I don't know. You can see he try to bind to, he try to change himself. Myron is. You know what I mean? Like, and he still don't understand himself, you know what I mean, as well, because he didn't have the influences. But we can go into it.
Let's keep it a stack. The guys that pay these girls time, money, attention, resources, etc. are hoping for some type of romance and don't get it, but they continue to provide their commodity for free to the woman in hopes of getting it, which they never will, because the girl will laugh at them and continue to siphon off as much resources, time, and attention as she can.
If you just pay every single time, there's no in the middle interaction. And what's happening here is that now you become a customer. And now there's no emotional attraction, there's no emotional tug, and you are now in a customer frame. And the customer frame says basically, you pay for a service, you get a product, it ends there.
Relying on money to get girls leading with your wallet, which is a lot of the time what tricking is.
If you do what the nigga Myron say, and you get the pussy, isn't that still paying for the pussy?
Yeah.
Because your whole intentions, your whole intentions of come through with the car and looking fresh and showcasing the money and doing all of that was to get the coochie. So your whole intent was to pay for it, to pimp for it. That's what you was doing from the jump. You ain't out there in the car for your benefit. You're out there in the car for her.
Yeah, you want everything for the woman.
I can tell if you're a beta male. Let's get into it, guys.
So number one, imagine this, right? You're on a date, you're paying for everything. But guess what? You're not saying that she didn't see you as a viable sexual option, because guess what? At this point,
y'all concern is on the sex portion too much. That's how you know that it's hard for y'all to get pussy. It's concerned on the sex part of it too much, and it should be concerned on the respect part of it too more often. Like, if you want to be honest, that woman should respect you just as much as a man would respect you, just as much as a boss respect you. You should get that respect all across the board. It's because the aura and kind of light you give off.
And the energy
if you have to do all these manipulation games, just get a little respect, or not respect. I don't want the respect. Or pussy is just keep it going for a little bit.
He's a cool guy, but he's not what I really want. But I'm gonna finesse him because guess what? He thinks I'm gonna smash. I'm not gonna smash. So guys, you're seen as a beta male because guess what? You can't read the signs that she isn't really into you, and as a result, she's gonna finesse the crap out of you because you're easy mark, and you can't see that she doesn't like you.
And guys, this commonly happens when you take girls out on nice, expensive dinner dates. That's why me and Fresh always tell you guys, when you take girls out, make your first date low investment, because make no mistake about it, guys, there's a whole group of women out here that are calling themselves booty dates and they're like literally making a killing off of finessing guys off of free dinner dates and going to restaurants that they otherwise would never be able to afford on their own. So
I'm not gonna lie, I don't get finesse like this.
Yeah, bro, and you only getting, check it out though.
I got as much money as I still don't get finesse.
Let me ask you a question. If I like to eat good and I meet a girl and I take her somewhere for her to eat and it's someplace nice and she's eating good, I could care two rats ass what she think she's doing. You only get finesse if you allow yourself to get finesse. It was a good fucking meal.
Hold up.
The hell?
Good segue. This is what finesse looks like.
She got, what'd you get?
Passion fruit.
Passion fruit. And I got coconut. It's fire, guys.
Good.
All right, we just some tacos, some ice cream. It good? What'd you get?
This what I say is finesse. I pamper my girl and show my girl whenever I get the chance.
Ain't nothing wrong with
None
that.
of this is good.
She's a woman.
Everyone is different bitches. Everyone is different bitches. I mean, it's cool. If that's you, like after they say they move me, they're gonna ball out me, then if that's your thing. But y'all don't claim to do that. Y'all doing this for pussy. The way y'all talk.
That's what I'm saying. If that's your regular, that's what I'm saying.
If you want to be honest,
if
I was single and I had that type of money, I want to buy these motherfuckers. From the time they would jump in my car, they're getting back in the car and I put on everything. Anybody that know me knows that. So it's like, I'm sorry, all this shit is new. This is weird. Like, I don't gotta do all this for side bitches.
If you don't go to these places on your regular journey to eat and to drink, and you're going out your way to do it for a woman, then it's some simp shit.
Number 8. Fortune telling. During Samhain, people would call upon spirits to tell the future. There were some strange rituals performed during the holiday, meant to let people know if prosperity or misfortune awaited them. Most of which were described as spells. Some were fairly innocent. In one, for example, girls would hide beside a neighbor's house. They would fill their mouths full of water, holding a pinch of salt in each hand, and listen in on their conversations. The first name of an unmarried man, they believed, would be the man they married. In another, men would open the doors of the barn and mime letting down corn against the wind 3 times. After the 3rd time, a spirit would pass through the barn, taking the appearance of the position they'd hold in adulthood. Boys were encouraged, though, to take the hinges off the doors or else the spirit would never leave, staying behind to torment them. Number 7. Fairies kidnapped people. During Samhain, fairies would leave their homes and roam the world of the mortals. That might sound like a magical moment, but these fairies weren't Tinkerbells. They were horrific monsters, and this was one of the most terrifying parts of the holiday. The fairies, led by the King of David, would ride on storm clouds with an army of hellhounds to gather the newly dead. During Samhain, though, they were less discriminate. Sometimes they would pull the living along with the deceased and drag them to the afterlife. On the day of the festival, people would stay clear of fairy mounds, the hills that dot the Irish landscape, fearing that one would catch them if they strayed too close and pull them down into hell. Number 6. The creatures of the Cave of Cats. The most dangerous place of all during Samhain was Owi Nagat, the Cave of the Cats. This was a narrow hole dug into a hillside. According to the legends, the fairy queen had stopped there centuries before, and her maidservant had been so taken with the place that she has to live there. Since then, the place had been overrun with malevolent spirits. People in the medieval times wrote countless notes claiming that they'd seen monsters crawl out of the cave. One said that the apparition of a woman came out every year and took away 9 of the best animals from every herd. Another said that strange beasts would emerge from the cave, and another that demonic cats were set loose during Samhain to attack the people in the town. Number 5. People drank heavily. A major part of Samhain was getting as drunk as humanly possible. Samhain marked the last great harvest before winter, and grain would be taken in mass before it was ruined by the frost. The people, as a result, would have a huge surplus of alcohol, and since refrigeration didn't exist yet, they either had to use it or waste it. People drank incredibly heavily during Samhain. Getting drunk was so linked with the festival that every single ancient Irish story about drunkenness takes place during Samhain. There are whole legends like the intoxication of the Ulstermen that use people getting hammered during the festival as the inciting action or even as the whole focus of the story. Number 4. The Black Sow. Fun was a major part of the festival. People around the country would light fires in their homes during Samhain, but the details of this ritual varied from place to place, and in some areas involved some dangerous and dark customs. In Murray, boys would go door to door begging for peat to burn the witches. They would make a great fire and lie down as close as they could to it without getting burned, letting the smoke billow over their bodies. Their friends would then leap over them and through the smoke, believing that the ritual gave them magical protection. In parts of Wales, people would jump over the fire and run away, imagining a creature called the Black Sow would take the slowest runner. According to J.A. McCullough, this was a toned-down version of an older ritual. In the past, he claims, they would catch one of the runners. The victim would, laden with the accumulated evils of the year, and throw him onto the bonfire as a human sacrifice. Number 3. People dressed up as the dead. Costumes were a part of Samhain just like modern Halloween. In those days, though, nobody dressed up as a superhero. They dressed as the dead. People would paint their faces black and put on disguises made out of straw, believing the clothes would make the spirits who roam the earth believe that they were one of them. Others put on the skin of freshly slaughtered animals. Samhain was a time when masses of animals were slaughtered to stock up for the winter, and the first sound that marked the beginning of the celebrations was the squeals of dying pigs. To avoid the touch of the wandering dead, people would take animals' skulls and skins and fashion them into demonic-looking costumes. Number 2. People cross-dressed. It wasn't just the line between the living and the dead that blurred. Somewhere along the line, people started using Samhain to blur the lines between genders, too. Samhain and later Halloween were celebrated with men in drag wandering the streets. By the mid-19th centuries, most groups that went door to door on Halloween were predominantly consisted of men dressed as women, hags, as they were called in Wales. These hags would knock on people's doors and ask for food or hospitality. If a home was particularly dirty, the men dressed as women would come inside and start sweeping, humming, as they worked like a disapproving wife. Number 1. Child sacrifice. In the earliest of days, Samhain may have been a time of child sacrifice. Irish legends talk about a time when gods demanded sacrifice during the festival. One legend says that the people had to give up 2/3 of everything they owned at the beginning of winter, including their corn, their milk, and their children.
On the first Thanksgiving, they sat down for turkey, sweet potatoes, and pie. It sounds like a delightful story, right? But unfortunately, it's not all true. There are some disturbing truths about Thanksgiving that you probably did not learn in class. Squanto is a famous Tisquantum, and he had a lot to do with that first Thanksgiving. In school, we were taught that this Native American spoke English, which helped him to communicate with the English newcomers and translate to his fellow Native Americans. While that part of the story is true, it's not the whole story. Squanto did not spend his entire life in Plymouth Colony with his friends and family members. He also did not translate during the first Thanksgiving feast out of kindness of his heart. The reason Squanto was the only Native American who spoke English was that he had been enslaved and forced into servitude in England. When the English headed to his native land in 1619, they brought him along. They figured that he could help them speak to the people in his native tongue. Now, if you thought that Squanto was just a highly intelligent Native American man who helped open the lines of communication between the Milgrams and the other Native Americans, you were taught wrong. The story of the first Thanksgiving says that it was all peace and happiness during the first Thanksgiving feast. That's also not accurate. The Pilgrims didn't send out a happy invitation to the Native Americans asking them to join them for a meal. Massasoit, the Native American chief of the Wampanoag people, he was invited to the first Thanksgiving. He arrived at the feast with 90 of his men. Because the Native Americans were armed warriors, the Pilgrims decided that they had to do something as a show of force. So they fired their guns in the air to let the Native Americans know that they could fight if necessary. Not exactly the happy start to a dinner that we were taught in elementary school. Putting up a sign of force before dinner doesn't make for the most relaxing of meals. Now, our Thanksgiving menu today is said to be based on what the Pilgrims had and the Native Americans ate on that first Thanksgiving. Unfortunately, that part of the story is not true either. While there were wild turkeys in the area, they were not served during that meal. The Wampanoag people showed up with 5 deer to be cooked. So that means that we shouldn't be eating roasted turkey on Thanksgiving, not if we want it to be a legitimate, authentic Thanksgiving meal. We should be eating venison. Also, sweet potatoes were not grown in the region at that time, so they couldn't have been served during the first meal either. And the settlers did not have flour or butter when they arrived in Plymouth Colony, so no dinner rolls. Without sugar or butter, we also couldn't have had those baked pies that were said to have been served at the first Thanksgiving dinner. No pumpkin pie? I mean, that's just not Thanksgiving anymore, is it? In school, we learned that the first Thanksgiving took place in 1621, so that the Pilgrims could thank the Native Americans for their hospitality and kindness. And it is a beautiful story, but it's not a true story. Many historians believe the first Thanksgiving took place many years later. And they also think the reason for the first meal was to mark the settlers' victory over the Pequot Native Americans. Now, if that's the case, the whole point of the meal was not to give thanks to one another. It was not about peace and harmony. It was about victory over the Native Americans. Today, we celebrate Thanksgiving on the third Thursday in November. That's not the actual day the first Thanksgiving took place. Thanksgiving wasn't even an official holiday until 1863, 200 plus years later, when Abraham Lincoln declared the first official Thanksgiving Day. It's believed that he chose this day to celebrate the Unionist Civil War victories. So how does that have anything to do with the first meal shared by the Native Americans and the Pilgrims, supposedly in 1621? Well, unfortunately, nobody really knows the truth of that first Thanksgiving. The one thing we do know is that the history books got it wrong.
Now, motherfucking episode, put your hands up, is going to be about maintaining positivity, balance, and mental health. But we're going to break it down. We can just talk about it on a high frequency though. But the caveat is, we get high. Like every day. I mean, like, bro, I get high, aim high, like the intro said. But we can start it off. How do you maintain your positivity? I mean, like, how do you maintain personally? You maintain your positivity. This shit's crazy. No, fucking life is definitely crazy. I mean, so how the fuck do you stay positive and, you know what I mean, like, not get down in the dumps to the point that, you know what I mean?
I'll be real with you, nigga. I get down in the dumps.
How do you bounce back from it?
I'll let you know when I bounce back.
So you struggle. So you struggle to maintain your positivity. See, like, things I maintain my positivity. I used to struggle with that shit. I started maintaining my positivity because I realized being negative, nothing fucking changes at all, ever. You know what I mean? Like, you be negative, oh shit, my life is nothing ever changes. Like, so what the fuck? I'm a nigga that try to look for solutions now, man. Like, I have to go for solutions because nothing ever changes. So you could be negative what you want. Oh, I want to get in shape. But you never work out. Like, what the fuck? You just gonna be beefing for the rest of your fucking life. Oh, I want a better job. But you don't get a trade. You don't try to go to school, get it. Like, the fuck? You're just gonna stay at the job. So, like, I'm more of a solutions guy. I mean, because I used to be a motherfucker that used to struggle with that shit. Real talk, like, struggle with that shit all about it. So, like, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I'll be honest. Like, I just keep going. Like, it's gonna come. You can be human. You're gonna go through it. But you have to shake that shit off. Like, to be negative for mad days.
I'll be honest with you.
It's not gonna open the fuck. Like, what's the point?
I get dark. I don't even say it's negative. I just get dark. But
that's negative.
I don't know if it's negative. I just get dark.
I mean, dark always be negative, but that sounds negative.
I just get dark. But what helps me balance it out right now? I'll be honest. I don't look up in the sky no more.
You wait for God?
I don't look for God. I don't look to the sky for answers.
See? Like,
I don't look up there no more. Because I've been looking up there for answers for the last 40-some years and it ain't working. So I look within.
But the thing about it is when people say, like, it says, like, you take one step to, I'm not a big Bible, I'm not a religious, I'm not Catholic, Christian, none of that. But, like, even that text, it says, you take one step towards God, it takes two towards you. But the key is taking one step. People don't really take one step, bro. I can honestly say, when I was trying to go, I didn't really take one step. The highest energy, and I do believe what you're saying, not because it's on you. But I do believe when you put that energy forth, I mean, the All Supreme does. I believe
you put the energy forth. I believe what you put out is what you're gonna get back. You reap what you sow. But I don't necessarily believe that I done took 30 steps towards God, and I ain't seen nothing took him back. So I'm taking 30 steps towards myself.
How do you feel like you took 30 steps towards God and you see no results? Because I don't believe anything that you put work in.
I didn't say I didn't see results from the work I put in for myself physically.
Say again?
I ain't see results from the work I put in myself physically as a man. But I ain't seen no results from all the kneeling and praying I did. You know what I'm saying? So I can't do that no more.
So for the people that do kneel and pray, what would be your advice to them? Stop doing it.
My advice to them is stop begging. Stop asking for help and command help. You know what I'm saying? That's what that would be my advice. My advice to them would be stop. My advice to you is that the definition of insanity is doing something constantly thinking you're gonna get a different result and getting the same result. So if you've been kneeling and you've been praying, you've been getting the same fucking results. Is the reason why. So now you need to recalculate your steps and recalculate what you've been doing and figure out why is that not working for me. Now analyze how a rich man can get up on stage and win a fucking trophy for something bullshit, and then he gonna say, and then he gonna pray to God, and he gonna be like, thank you God for a win when the nigga over there starving the fucking been praying every day and he didn't get the food. So why?
And I agree to some degree with that, because in certain aspects you're right, but you gotta think about the aspects of the motherfucker on the block. The nigga is saying, yo, thank you God for this award. That worked his ass off, and that nigga on the block that just thought about it, pit zero working. So how could he expect the same results?
No. But, you know what I mean? Like I said, the nigga over there is playing too. He's playing hard. He's playing hard just for.
I'm talking about prayer plus the action.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that when you go and you win that award and you say thank you God, you want God to give you that award.
Of course not. But I think
gave you that award.
Of course, they're just paying that homage. That award is not.
Don't pay homage to God.
I understand
for that award.
I understand
that was an award given to you by man, created by man. You know what I'm saying? So you are so now to get up there after winning an award given to you by man, God didn't give you that award, and God didn't favor your music over that music. You did? You know what I'm saying? What you was given was a voice and a platform to express yourself and to use that platform and that voice for something. It wasn't for say thank you God for this award or for this basketball trophy or this ball. I just said, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, the kid's starving around the corner. He got up just now and tried to go get a fucking job, but actually didn't get one.
Let's get back on you. So let's get back on you. How do you maintain your positive? That you say you don't. You go to dark spaces.
I go in dark spaces sometimes, and I come out of them dark spaces by believing hardly within myself.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because everything that exists outside exists within. So rather than look out, I look within. I treat it almost like basketball. You know, in basketball, you know what I'm saying? You post up, and you point guard. You come up, you throw the ball in. You know what I'm saying? You high percentage shot, you kick the ball out. Take the jump shot, take the 3-point shot. So I look at it like that. Rather than going out, I go in. Because the going out didn't get me nowhere, so I go in now. And I go into myself and I command what I want and I demand what I want because I deserve it. Because I played the game the way you said I should play and I ain't get the results. Now I'm commanding what I want. Because I deserve
I think that was always in a subtext. And like, okay, my thing on religion in general is if you get in the message, I mean, cool. Because most of it is symbolic. I mean, so it's like, if you're getting a message out of it, that's great.
Nah.
But like, the thing about it is like, you always got to put the fucking work. Like I said, man, I put the work in. Whatever I do right now, I put the work. Because I realized back in the day, whatever I didn't accomplish, I did not put the work in. You could beef.
Facts.
Excuse me. You could blame as much people as you want. And I came to that epiphany. I've been talking to John. I mean, which is my brother and my nigga Boogie. I mean, we had this conversation the other day. I literally wasn't putting no work in. I wasn't doing shit. I was expecting, waiting for like a movie situation. Like, and a lot of people have that same motherfucking affliction. So it's like, I think that's the majority. Some people, and I don't disagree with you saying. I mean, I do agree with what you want. Because people that, and all that shit, I do agree with all that. But
I believe
a lot of niggas don't do shit.
I agree. But I believe also the reason why that has also happened because Words are spells.
Facts.
And when you work, and here's the thing, right?
And vibration. That's why
vibration is a spell. That's why it's a spell. So now when you're looking at it like from that aspect, now you gotta understand now look at it from, you take it from there, you take it to there, right? So if words are spells, vibrations and frequency. If you ain't speaking the words and the frequency and the vibration on the right frequency and vibration, that's maybe why it ain't vibrating in your body to cause action. Yeah, if you can understand what I'm saying.
You're not saying the right spells to get the right
result.
You gotta say the right words
to get the right results from the flesh. Because you understand you're dealing with two entities. You're dealing with the higher self that exists inside of you, and you're dealing with the meat. What they say, if you're going to prescribe to the Bible, what do you say in the Bible? They said the flesh is weak. So therefore, if the flesh is weak, and I'm not working the right spells to get the flesh to cooperate with the higher self, then there's something wrong with those words. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people, why it's not working.
But yo, man, we're going to wrap this one up. You got a last word?
Peace and love.
My last word is an affirmation I always say. Don't keep me under grace, not under law. My negative thoughts weak, my positive thoughts strong. Whoa.
Money don't make the man, man make the money. You are who you are. That's what you trying to tell me. All you got is time.